Hey, so I'm going to give you a orientation of the Hutoma platform. We're here on the console homepage. As you can see at the top, there's the big green button where you should go to get started if you want to create your first bot. Down at the bottom here is the list of bots that I have built. If you're coming here for the first time, this list should be empty. But because I've built before, I could go ahead and view a bot that I already have. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Left-hand side, the navigational panel. You can go straight directly to our bot store, which is a place where you can buy templates to speed up your bot build, and also link directly to our documentation website, which will get you unstuck whenever there's a problem. So in this little here, I'm going to take you through just to familiarize yourself, really. I won't go into detail in any of the methods of building, rather just explain what they are, what they're for, and then we'll have some further videos in the future. So here, this is the sort of the wizard to decide the type of bot that you're looking to build. Now, nothing you do here sort of restricts you later down the line. It just gets you directs you to the right place in the platform to get started. So if you've got some very simple question and answer pairs, perhaps conversations that you've had with customers in the past, or just pairs of questions and answers, the simple Q&A on the top left is where you should go. On the right hand side at the top is the intents builder. This is for more complex question and answer pairs. You can have multiple questions with multiple answers, and them all sort of combining into one intent. This is also where you go if you'd like to connect to third-party services and pass information to those via a webhook. Moving further down, you can start building from a template. So if you've purchased anything from our store, or when I say purchase, a number of these templates will be free. But if you've got access to any of those, then you can start by clicking create here, and it'll take you directly to the list of skills that you own. If you've built on the platform before, or a colleague has, you can import from a file. That would be a bot that's been exported from the platform. You can re-import it and start from there and editing that. Right at the bottom, there's the build from scratch option. This is a combination of all four of these, so that you didn't have to make that choice up front. Now, I'm just going to pick the simple Q&A as that's the top option. When you click create, you'll land on an initial settings page that you need to configure for your bot. That is giving it a name. So I'm just going to call this demo 10th of May. You can add a description. I'm going to be lazy. And down at the bottom, time zone. Obviously, I'm based in the UK, so I'm going to set that as London. But you can switch that out for anywhere that you like. And here is the default response section. So this is the response that the bot gives when it doesn't understand an input from a user. Now, if you add more than one of these responses, it will be sent by random when a user asks something that it doesn't understand. Or you can just have one, and you can delete the default answer and add one for yourself. But I'm going to leave it as it is for now and click create. Once I do that, I'll be taken to the simple Q&A section, because that's what we decided just a few seconds ago. Here is the inline editor. You can go ahead and sort of type Q&A pairs in here. They're simply in the format question, answer, question, answer. And if you did want to do some very basic multi-turn conversations, you can do question, answer. and then rather than leaving a space between, you can then go ahead and write question answer below, and that's how you would go ahead and do a multi-turn conversation. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and save that and train the bot with the training file that we've added, you go ahead and click save. I'll do that just for as an example. And what you once we've actually started training the bot, what happens is the chat window on the right hand side appears, and you can then start talking with the bot in here. I can do this, and the response the response comes through here. Below that, you'll see the JSON of the chat conversation, which you can copy. And if you had multiple questions and answers in here, if you were to click one of these, it would take you within the chat logs to the relevant question. Now, just moving along, I'm not going to take you through each of the methods of building. I'm just going to show you what they look like. So on the left-hand side here, we're going to open intents. So again, you could start building using intents here. We'll start doing that by clicking add intent. And you'll see that you get an option to add a name for the intent, add all the ways that a user might express that intent on the left-hand side under the human says column, and on the right-hand side, these are how the bot would respond. You can add as many as you want there, but if you do add more than one, then it will return that answer at random for the moment. Now, entities are logical lists of objects, so that could be vehicle, could be a category, an entity category, and then types of vehicle would form part of that entity category, so cars, bikes, scooters, etc. You'll also see lists of entities that we've added to the system for you so that you don't have to, and again they're there to speed up your bot build. Moving on, skills. This is the bot store. What you would see here in the live version is the list of templates and skills that we have on the platform. You can then go ahead and use these to speed up your bot building process. Next up is integrations. This is where you connect to external chat platforms. So we have a native integration to Facebook Messenger, which you would go ahead and sort of click connect to Facebook, and from here you then can go ahead and select the page that you would like to connect to. Now, I'm not going to do that this time, but what you would do is you'd select the page that you want to integrate to, and then this bot would be responding to user inputs there. Now, you're also able to connect the bot to other chat platforms, and you do that via our API. That's accessible in the bot settings. You can see that information here. So in the dev token section, this is everything that you need, and we've got a developer help documentation piece on this exact topic of how to integrate using our API. Also in this settings page is a few other pieces of information. Again, you get the option to change the default response that your bot gives when it doesn't understand a user. Additionally, you're able to hand over the response to a human, or at least stop the bot from responding after a certain number of error messages. So you can set these in this section here. By default, this is switched off, but if you'd like to prevent your bot from responding after a certain number of responses, you select that here. You select the number of minutes that this prevents the bot from answering for. So that could be, say, 30 minutes. And after that point, if the user was to ask another question of the bot, it would then respond again. But within that period, the bot wouldn't respond. And in this section here, this is the response that you would the bot would give. So it'd be like, please wait for an agent. Okay, and you go ahead and save that here. So I'd go here, save. Okay. On the left-hand side, we can also see the Insights tab. So this is a sort of rudimentary set of statistics about number of API calls, chat sessions and chat interactions on a daily basis for the bot. As you see, obviously this is a brand new bot, so we won't have too many API calls beyond the one that we had earlier when I sent a question to the bot. But as you can imagine, over time this would increase if you've exposed your bot to external customers. Now, that's sort of all of the methods of building a bot on Hutoma. On the left-hand side here is the bot store. So this is where you could click this to see that are in the store. And if you wanted to, you can go ahead, purchase one of these, click Add Skill, and then this would appear in the skill section, which I'll show you in just a moment. So we're going to enter a bot that we were building before by clicking View Bot. And if we now head over to the Skills tab, you'll see that I have the chit chat skill available to me because I've just purchased it. If we flip this radio option, radio button there, click Save, this bot will now be, or this skill will now be attached, and it will be available to chat to. So because this is chit chat, we can ask something like hello, and it should respond to us with another greeting. There you go, it does. And like I said, you can see the JSON of the response in the bottom right corner. So I think that's everything I wanted to show you for now. And I'll be going into a little bit more detail on the methods of building each individual one in subsequent videos. So thank you.